BJ, if you can hear me, just dial. I brought my sales director Todd on the phone. I was kind of telling him what we were speaking about on our previous conversation, so he wanted to jump on to give you kind of an executive level overview and answer questions that you may have. So I'll introduce you to Todd.
Hey VJ, how's it going? How's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So I appreciate you giving us a few minutes today. I know we're kind of wrapping up the month and time is precious. So how much time did you set aside for us just to make sure you're not jammed up for the next event?
Enough that we need to get it. Let's just do it. Make sure it's productive. Get it done.
Let's do it. And then VJ, just before we get started here, I do want to give you the pricing up front just so it's pretty straightforward. I don't want to keep you in mystery. I saw the emails that you sent to Sean, and I think I have a good idea of where you're at. So I just want to be real upfront with you. We're pretty transparent. It's a pretty simple program. What you're looking at today, I can show it to you in about 15 minutes or less. I'll talk about accountability. We'll talk about veterans. We'll talk about millennials, new hires, parts and service, and the process and the curriculums. 15 minutes down the road, you'll know everything about what we do, what kind of support you'll get. And I just want to be real upfront, give you the pricing here. And you'll see it's kind of pick and choose. You know, if you just want Grant, that's fine. You'll see Grant's pricing menu on the very top row. And we also have some HR tools for hiring, personality assessments. We have leadership training if you're thinking with your managers, and we also have service advisor training if you want to, give Dan some extra content for his service department. So, any questions on that menu, or is it pretty straightforward?
It's pretty straightforward.
All right, perfect. So I know that you and Sean were talking about the process and controlling customers and tightening up the, the steps to the sale. Other than that, is there anything else in your mind right now or in your world that you want to put some attention on that we might have a solution for?
I mean, what? Yeah, service advisor training looks good.
Okay, perfect. Have you guys heard of Jeff Cowan before?
No.
Okay. So we've got grants program, and then, we had a lot of requests for service training. Obviously, that's a very profitable part of the business. So we partnered up with the #1 trainer in the service department, and it's completely specific to the service lane. So it's its own separate curriculum. You'll be able to leverage all the accountability features as well. And then I'll make sure to click on that box once we're inside as well. And so right now it looked, it's looking like Subaru as a whole is doing pretty good. Are you guys seeing these record months over there too right now?
Yep.
Okay. And so for 2017, what's the big number that you guys are chasing in your store?
2017, what's the big number we're chasing?
Correct.
I mean, we'd love to hit 2,000 cars.
Gotcha. And what did you do last year?
There was 1,800-ish.
Okay.
I think it was like 1,836.
Okay. 1,836. And are you on pace for that 2,000?
A little bit shy of it.
Okay. And is there a gross number that you're chasing as well, or is it just a bottom line number that you guys are thinking with?
No, I mean, we don't have a gross number set.
Okay. All right, so let me see here. So you got to be pacing, 166 per month right now?
That's a pretty good average.
Okay. Is that what you sold last month?
Last month we were a little bit higher than that.
Okay.
183.
Okay.
I think we were 183.
Perfect.
I don't have the numbers right in front of me.
All right, no problem. No problem.
If I knew it was a test, I would have studied.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure that we're in alignment, and every single dealership, they all have their attention on some key metrics. Some people want better closing percentages. Some people want just to hit that target at the end of the year. Some people want the bottom line, and I just want to find out what's important to you guys before we show you the inside of the system.
I would hope that everybody wants all three of those things.
Absolutely. Obviously, those are all nice. And some people just, they lock in on a certain number and they want it to hit a certain target. So we like to be on the same page right up front. So, you know, what you're looking at today, VJ, really simple program. I just checked right now. We're actually 28 million lessons deep on Cardin On Demand. And so what we're proposing today is 10 minutes of daily training inside Cardin On Demand. Everybody gets a username and a password. And the one thing that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about today is how do we get these guys to actually use the program. So have you guys ever done any third-party sales training before?
Yes.
Okay. And who was that with?
Joe Verdi.
Okay, excellent. And what was your experience there?
It was great until a week later when everyone stopped using it.
They used it for longer than that. Guys were going through the training for a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was good while we used it. That's it.
Gotcha. Is that Jonathan in the room with you?
Yep.
That's me.
Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan, welcome. I didn't realize you were in the call, but nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. So Joe Verdi, so usage was a big concern, long-term consistent usage.
Yeah, and that's what we're going for is long-term. That's what we want out of this.
Perfect. Perfect. So right now, I'd say about 60% of the clients that jump on board with Cardin On Demand, they've had experience with Joe Verdi, and they're actually some of our best clients. And, you know, Joe's obviously, he's got a great program. He's a legend in the business. He's been around for a very, very long time. And, you know, we're going to use the same technology company. So you guys had access to the back end, correct? Where you could see who was logging in, who wasn't logging in. You could track, you know, every single video they watched. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
All right, perfect. So we use the same technology provider. So they were on Lightspeed, we're on Lightspeed. They have tracking and metrics, we have tracking and metrics. So it's really just about the quality of the content and the type of support that you're going to be getting. So just as a refresher, everything that you were used to in the past would come along with the program. And while I stay on this page here for about 2 minutes, in addition to just having the ability to come in here and track logins and see who's watching videos and who's not watching videos, over the last 4 years, our company's grown from 4 people to 54 people. And I've got 20 positions open right now that we're hiring for, and our company is growing faster than ever. And one of the big pieces to this is our usage department and our customer support team. So this isn't a flip the switch. You're going to talk to the sales guy once. You're going to have a person like Sean on the front end for any sales meetings or support, or you get a couple new guys 6 months down the road and they don't know what this program is. Sean will definitely walk them through it, and you can use Sean for sales meetings and outsourced VP of sales, if you will. But on the back end of the system, you're going to be having a dedicated support manager. And the same reason that salespeople need a manager to kind of keep them in check, keep these guys in line, hold them accountable, what we found is that even managers sometimes need that too. So we have an entire usage department. All they do is they study these logins. They see who's using it, who's not using it. We have over 1,000 stores on the program, and we know when somebody's on the right path, and we know when the ship's going down the wrong path. So what we'll do is if we see something that's kind of a red flag, you can expect phone calls to start going out. We'll start reaching out to you. It usually means there's like maybe a new manager in town, or maybe there's a change, or you just fired a bunch of people and you hired the next generation, but we forgot to do a walkthrough. So there's only a handful of things that would indicate why somebody's not using the program, and we have a solution for every single thing that we've ever seen, so we can keep you and your store on the rails the entire time, and we're going to literally hold your hand throughout the entire process. So you're going to get obviously all the metrics and the data that you can check whenever you want to, but you're going to have a second set of eyes on your platform 24/7, 7 days a week. Any questions about how that works, or is that pretty straightforward?
Pretty straightforward.
All right, perfect. So if we leave this conversation here on the back end, I want to go straight to our training center. So how many new hires do you have over there at less than 90 days?
3.
Okay, perfect. Millennials, or they've sold cars before?
Okay, kind of a mix.
Okay. So step one is every single new hire, what we're going to do is obviously they have to go through the product knowledge. Obviously they have to learn everything about the Subaru, and then obviously they're going to be rolling through your company's, core values. Every onboarding has the company, what we believe in, how we do business here. Here's our specific sales process. Here's what we believe in. and then here's the car that you're going to be selling, and this is how we've always done business. Those two things, obviously, those aren't going anywhere. You have to keep those internal. And what we're going to do is we're going to supplement those two parts to the onboarding process with Grant Cardone's third-party new hire onboarding curriculum. It's going to teach them the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of selling, and this is great for millennials that have gone to school for 15 or 20 years. They've got a bachelor's degree, and nobody's ever taught them one thing about selling. They've never read a book on sales their entire life, and then you get a general manager or a GSM who's been doing it for 20 years, and they can't even think with the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s just because they've been doing it for so long. So Grant's going to get them up to speed. He's going to graduate them through all these fundamentals, the rules and the laws. From there, we're going to teach them the road to the sale. And this is everything from, the customer showing up on the lot. You're spending money on advertising. Now it's time to convert the opportunity. And these are the steps to the sale. But it's not just a sheet of paper. Every dealership has a sheet of paper with every step and, kind of the operations and what you're supposed to do. And what we've created is what you should be saying, why the step exists, what the customers are saying, how you should respond to these objections, how to move the customer through the process, how to fact find them, how to make them feel good along the way, how to discover what they've done in the past and leverage that for this future purchase. So obviously if they're skipping steps, then it blows up in the close. And our goal is to make sure they check every single box, they understand the process, and ultimately they can sell more cars and they'll need less support from the managers. Does this match up with what you're teaching your people today?
Quick question. So like if you're gonna train in a process, do you have worksheets that you guys would give us to use here at the dealership to follow the process that you train?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I know Joe's a lot of Joe's clients, they all loved his workbooks, and I know he always had something.
I wasn't crazy about Joe's workbooks. I thought they were antiquated and that they were all just designed for a Foursquare dealership that banged and manipulated and tricked people into buying a car and making way too much gross. Now,
gotcha.
Joe's dealerships aren't even there anymore, right?
Well, they're disappearing.
Okay.
They're disappearing or they're being bought out.
I don't, the tactics and the trickery and the deception just doesn't work with our clients. We got a lot of cash buyers. We just got to treat them right, treat them well, and get them to buy a car from us, as opposed to going down the street and buy a car from somewhere else for $50 less than when we're at $500 under net trying to sell a brand new car.
Wow.
We want our process to be clean and transparent and operator user-friendly, if you would, so then that way, our guys are not getting bogged down with technicalities, that there's still some sort of camaraderie built with the customer and some sort of, relationship built with them. So.
Perfect. So then this is going to tie in really well. One of Grant's biggest things is, he gets that customers today, they have iPhones. They can shop you in your showroom and they can shop 4 stores when they're sitting in front of your showroom. So he assumes that the customer knows more about the car than the salesperson does. So we use information. We assume they're an intelligent buyer. We give them information that assists the close. It's very easy. It's real transparent. And I think that's why it works really well with today's customer. And I think that's why our business is booming because, it's very modern, very 21st century. You'll see another section here, which is going to leverage technology. We'll teach your guys how to use their phones and text messages and emails and social media so they can start to, use that for prospecting and unsold follow-up and to secure that relationship as well long-term. So this is just the road to the sale, but this is a great piece of the program for all the new guys. So when you get a new hire on board, do they have to go through a 1 or 2 week process of training before they start working with customers, or do they get like a 1 or 2 day orientation and then they kind of learn as they go?
The 1 or 2 day orientation and learn as they go.
Okay. Perfect. So while they're doing their certifications along the way, this will be something that'll last about 2 weeks to concentrate some very important material right up front. And that way they don't have to practice on the customers as much and they'll be more certain sell. Our goal is to collapse a 90-day learning curve and get them producing like a veteran within 60 days.
Okay.
So this will be about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much time you would allow them to sit in front of a computer during the day for them to, complete these courses. So if I go back to our main menu, that's the new hire box, really great, consistent way to onboard all the new guys. Obviously, the tracking tools up top would allow you to see where they're at in that certification program. And you can mandate, hey, get this done in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you can use a simple report to see how they're progressing. So if we go to the majority of your team, I'm going to start with the sales box. And what we've done for all of the existing sales teams, we've created a master certification program. And what we used to have in the past was just a tremendous amount of content. Come in here, grab whatever you want to, but there was no process, there was no structure. It was kind of confusing. So what we did about 12 months ago, and which saw about an 80% spike in our usage over the program long term, is we created about a 3-year certification program, where we've taken all of our content and we created a beginner certification, intermediate, advanced, and a master certification program. And it gives your people a place to come in every single day. Again, all we're proposing is let's get your guys in here to do 2 videos every single morning before the customers walk in. Let's not practice on the customer, practice with Grant, and get a little bit better at your job every single day. So they're going to graduate and they'll get their beginner certification within about 45 to 60 days. Then we serve up another certificate, the intermediate certification. They'll get that about 7 or 8 months down the road. Then they get the advanced certification about 16 to 18 months down the road. And then they're going to get their master certification 20 to 24 months down the road. Of course, there's going to be some freaks that are in your store. They're going to have access to the program and they're going to be addicted to it. They can't put it down and they're going to finish in like 18 months. And then you have the guys that just do the minimums. They'll do their 2 requirement, and then they just graduate through day by day. So to give you an example of how this would work, to get the intermediate certification, the salesperson would have to go through, they'd have to do everything on road to the sale. They'd have to learn our closing tactics, the theory of closing, and 100 brand new ways to shut a deal down without using where do we need to be, if I could, would you, what would it take, make me an offer, let me go check with John or VJ to see if we get some more money for the trade. We're going to eliminate all those and we're going to teach them some very logical ways to shut the deals down. All their phone training, inbound calls, outbound calls, price calls, availability calls, advertisement response. There's over 30 scripts in this box, so they'd have to be phone experts. They'll have to learn how to handle a digital lead. They'd also have to go through our 2-month course on follow-up for the 21st century. We shot this course maybe 10 months ago. So how to use social media, what the digital customer is like, how much work it takes to use follow-up to actually get results, using phones and videos and text messages and social reaches. And these 2 boxes right here are going to pay the entire program off, probably in the first 4 to 5 weeks with just the information in these 2 boxes. Every single store in America right now, they all have a CRM. Are you guys on Vin Solutions or Dealer Socket?
We're not on either. We're on LIS.
OIS? Okay, perfect.
System.
Okay. So you have OIS, and OIS is going to store all the contact information. It's going to store the notes. It's going to trigger some alerts, and it's going to have a pipeline management system. That's great. But what we found is that managers are still frustrated with the amount of follow-up that's happening on the showroom floor. They're frustrated with the quality of the follow-up. And 9 out of 10 times when we ask a manager, hey, do you think your guys are following up enough? They say no, and then we ask them why, and their response has always been, my guys are lazy. And what we know is that salespeople, they're not lazy, they just don't know what to say. The most popular follow-up call in America today is, hey, it's me, just checking in. Or, hey, it's me and I'm touching base. Or, hey, it's me, did you get your tax return yet? Those are the 3 most popular follow-up calls in the United States. And what we created is 1 year of scripts. These are 30 to 60-second videos that your team can use in conjunction with OIS. It does not tie into it. This is a standalone platform. There's no migration between the 2 systems. OIS pops up an alert and it says, hey, you need to call Mrs. Jones from 2 weeks ago. And the guy doesn't know what to say because he's already used up his 2 or 3 word tracks. What he would do then is he would come over here and he would start to learn a unique reach to this customer without repeating himself. So we're going to load his lips up. We're going to give him the email or the text message or the video to send the customer so they know exactly what to do for an entire year until the customer ends up buying a car from us. But it's very professional. It's very personal. It's very persistent. And these customers, when they're ready to buy a car, there's no other place for them to buy than from your rep at your store. Let me give you a short example so you can see what I'm talking about and you can get an idea of how the content's a little different.
Okay, it's day 3. today's the day for a selfie video, okay? I want you to send out a video right now of your face. Remember, back to the wall, light your face, short video. Great meeting you, have some information I think would be very valuable to you. Boom, you want to send that video out where? First, text, email, second place. The only two places you can send a video. You want to do that today, and you want to keep it tight. You want to keep it short. Also, include in that video your cell number, direct way to contact you. You can just do that by doing an editing device in the video. It's very, very simple. Just Google video editing on my phone, and you'll find the information. That was day 3. Now, you've made 5 or 6 contacts in 3 days. Nobody's doing this. If you don't know what to do tomorrow, check back in with me. I'll give you an idea.
Pretty straightforward. 50 seconds. 50
Yep.
seconds. I take my test. I pay attention. I pass. I'm goofing off. I fail. I got to go back and do it again. And that was one video. Then I'd have to watch my next video. I get 2 of these in and I'm done for the day. Now go use it on the customers. Go chase 200 units a month. So this is for all the unsold customers. Now let's talk about the deals that are done, right? You guys sold 180 cars last month. Obviously, it's really important. It's just as important to follow up with the customers that you did sell for repeat business and for referrals. So this is for all the unsold customers. Now we've got a similar path for every single car that they're going to sell this year. And it's going to give them a 2-year follow-up sequence so they can stay in communication with these unsold customers, leveraging your OIS system for the alerts and the triggers, and then leveraging Grant's content for what to say and to improve the quality of those conversations. So they've got the same day call, the 3-day call, the 7-day call, the 2 weeks, the 2 months, the 2 years, and it's a very, very similar sequence here. So I'll give you an example of what we would propose for a customer that did buy a car and how we're going to leverage this contacts to get referrals down the road too.
The 7-day contact. The reason I'm calling, John, it's been about 7 days now, and by this time, I want to make sure that you've had your product installed long enough, working with it enough that you might have some questions. Now, look, if you don't like the question, because some of you don't, you're like, oh man, every time I ask that question, it's going to get me in trouble. Look, if there's problems, if there's trouble, you need to find out about it. You need to initiate it, and you need to resolve it. If you're selling to the public, you're selling to human beings, trust me, you're going to have problems. You're going to have people dissatisfied. You're going to have questions. All these questions, problems, situations are actually opportunities if you just change your mind about it. Remember the 7-day period. There should have been at least 3 contacts by now. You're still in the hottest time after the purchase. This is a great time to continue to pick up referrals and ask questions like, anybody been impressed with it? What kind of compliments are you getting? This is a vital time to resolve issues like I discussed. Don't delay it, and always look for second sales, not with others, but within this family, within this company. You're going to find a second sale if you keep your eyes open.
So pretty straightforward, correct?
Yep.
Good. So that's an example of what your people would learn through their 2 segments of daily training. So obviously there's a tremendous amount of information. I think the last time we checked, there's about 1,300 courses available to your team. They're between 3 to 5 minutes long, and we shoot content here every single week. So bi-weekly content, what we do is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have a studio in Miami. It looks like a sports center type of studio. We put myself in there. We put my VP of sales in there. I put my top sales guys in there. And every single week we do 20 to 45 minutes of live sales training on a specific topic. I think the topic today is finishing the month strong. And your team would get a link to the actual live training session. So in addition to the pre-recorded content through these formal curriculums, your people will get a phone number and a special link to our pure live sales training done every Wednesday at 2. If you guys are having questions or specific issues and they don't want to go up to VJ and say, hey, VJ, there's something about my job that I don't know, or if they're scared to go up to Jonathan because he's always busy, a lot of the times they just pick up the phone and they call my office. And they'll ask my top guys, hey, I'm getting crushed right now with the meet and greet. I can't get anybody written up. my manager's pissed off at me because I sold 4 cars last month. I know I'm going to get fired. How do I come back right now? I'm in a slump. And we'll get those calls every single week from salespeople all over the country who leverage that resource to get one-on-one help when they're a little nervous to volunteer their weakness to their manager, or they are intimidated by the manager, or they just think that maybe that's not the right person to ask, so they'll call us, their big brother, for some help.
Or their manager is just a jerk.
That too. There are a few of those out there. So that's our certification program. And again, I was just giving you some examples. So the whole plan here is that the guys are doing 2 videos every single morning from their iPhone or from their tablets or from their house on a Sunday night, because they have access to the program, and they're doing that work throughout these certification programs. They make progress. They get a little bit closer to that completion of that certification. When they finish one certification, it unlocks a certificate that you can print out, get some $2 frames, and pass them out in your morning sales meetings, and create the culture of, hey, we're constantly learning, we're always getting better, and make a big deal about these little certifications. We have stores that throw $50 gas cards or little spiffs, and they attach it, or these people with master certifications get higher commission percentage. So there's a way to leverage these certifications, the tracking and incentives and your pay plan and your cash bonuses. There's a way to kind of tie this all together, and that's what we would do when we launched the program off with our 30-minute management walkthrough. We'll show all the managers and all the sales managers, here's how the accountability works. Here's what to look out for. Here's ways to tie this together with the pay plan to get the usage up. Here's how to make it fun. Here's the penalties that you can roll out that we've seen that work well. And here's the rewards that work really well too. So do you guys want to penalize them if they don't, or do you want to reward them if they do? What's your philosophy? These are the top ones that we found to be most effective from our best clients. And we'll literally allow you to pick and choose the best ways to implement the program. Once everybody's in agreement, everybody understands how the program works, then we'll schedule a separate call for the sales team, and we'll do a more of a motivational rah-rah, hey, you know, it's not extra work and it's actually pretty cool, and we handle all their objections in the room. There's always the veterans that think they know everything. Then there's the guys that are in the middle that are just, you know, they're open-minded or whatever. And then you've got the guys at the bottom that are like, man, I don't even know if I'm going to be here next month. So we know how to kind of handle all those different objections, get everybody excited, and then from that point, they get the logins and the training starts. From there, we do a call 2 weeks later to check in on you guys. What's happening? Are you guys good? Pretty simple. Do you need help? And really the first month is where we make or break the program. If it's working in the first month, it's pretty much on rails from that point forward. If it's not implemented the first 30 days the right way, it's very difficult to get long-term usage. So we micromanage the hell out of the program. My people are stalking you and your managers for the first month. And after we see that you're self-sufficient, then we just check in from time to time.
Okay.
Of course, Sean's cell phone number is available. It's in your pocket 24/7. So you ever need anything from Sean, he's available 24/7. And that's the certification program. So do you understand the process so far?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So before I go into the service training, I just want to give you a quick little flash of the full curriculum.
Let's hold off on the service training for right now.
Okay.
Because I want to get on the phone. Do you guys do work with MSADA on this pricing? Is there any movement because of our affiliation with them? I saw Grant at one of the meetings, and I think I recall that.
We don't have any formal partnerships, and typically what we'll do is when we go speak at an event, we'll make a quick offer. Hey, anybody that wants to take advantage of this, come on in. If you want to sign up, come see me in the back, and I'll give you the bro deal. But as far as the bro deal, that, hey, I'm in town and I want to get a deal, and let's do something, and I own the place, so I can pick any price I want. But outside of this, this is our menu right now. So based on what you've seen here so far, have you seen enough so far with this system to make a decision on this rate card?
Hold on 1 second. I just went black. No, I haven't seen enough right now.
All right, perfect.
Make a
Allow me
decision.
to, absolutely. Let me show you the management training. So now we got the managers, right? We got John, we got Dan, we got Jeff, we got VJ, right? And obviously these guys are, these are the best salespeople in the entire company. And the reason we created a management training box is because what we found is that a lot of the managers in stores today, they were really, really good salespeople, and then there was an opening. And now that
was
great
that management training in the GC, or is that the leadership also?
So we have Grant's got his own management course, and then we have a separate course right here, which is a leadership course through Dave Anderson. But for this top rung right here, you would get everything that you're seeing on the screen minus this box right here, which has Dave Anderson on leadership and culture.
Okay, so top rung GC would have the management training in there too.
Correct. And that's going to give your managers, exactly. So you'll be on this top rung pricing. You'll see that this third rung down on the pricing menu, it says leadership training by Dave Anderson. That's a separate program that's located right here. That would be an add-on if you wanted to. And that's going to unlock.
Right now we're all talking Grant Cardone without service training.
Correct. So I'm not selling you on any Dave Anderson leadership training, and I'm not going to be showing you anything on the service training. I'll just tell you everything that you'll get for managers at this top tier pricing through us. And that's these two top rows right here. These two top rows on the screen is all included on that top tier pricing. There's three things that we did when we created this box. Number one, we need to make sure managers have good content and a structured curriculum for transferring skills to the sales team. The second thing that they need is they need motivational content to get these guys pumped up and excited. And the third resource inside of here is how do we make that manager better at his job? How do we make that guy a better leader? How do we get that guy excited? How do we teach him how to drive a sales contest? How does this guy come up with better incentives to get his guys excited and motivated? So those are the three categories that are available to your guys at the management level for the same price up front on the GC content. So the first thing and probably the most impactful thing that your managers could do in this program is to implement the boot camps. The boot camps is management led, and it's basically where we pick a topic that we all agree on that the guys could probably get a little bit better at. Could be prospecting, or could be selection and demonstration, could be trial closes or closing or phone mastery. We pick a skill set that we know the guys could, they could probably get a little bit better at. So for example, let's say it's closing. Let's say you want to pick up the gross average $224 in the next month. We've done that several times. All we do is we'd say, all right, let's drop in the boot camp. What we'll do here is we'll have Jonathan, Dan, and Jeff, we'll have them download the action plan. The action plan is a 3-week curriculum where we're going to train your sales team on how to hold gross for 3 weeks. We're going to spend 10 minutes a day in a group meeting on how to close a deal without giving up gross. Every single meeting is going to be listed out for the manager. So let's say John has a day off on Tuesday and Dan gets one off on Wednesday and Jeff's day off is Thursday. Well, the guys can just pass the curriculum around. The other guy can fill in, and we're going to give them every single meeting. We're going to start with the video. Then there's going to be a role play. Then there's going to be a practical exercise. There's going to be worksheets. And we're going to spend 10 to 20 minutes a day breaking down the close from the mentality and the theory, all the pieces that need to be in place in order to set up the close, and then what you actually do when you're in the close, what you should be thinking and what you should be saying. So we'll spend 3 weeks on one topic. We're not going to do the traditional, Monday's motivation and Tuesday's phones and Wednesday's follow-up and Thursday's a rah-rah, Saturday's the sales contest for the week, but there's never enough time spent on one skill set.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
I want to do this meeting again tomorrow with me and Frank.
Okay.
He's going to be helping me make the decision on this.
Okay.
Frank's the dealer principal. I'm the general manager.
Correct.
And I want to set up a time to have him take a look at this too.
Perfect.
I see you've already done a little research. You got Brattleboro Subaru up there already, right?
Yep. So you got, you think John might be able to take advantage of this too?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Frank a call when we get off the phone, talk to him, and see if it's something they might be interested in.
Okay.
Take a look at if it's something that we want to do. Look at the numbers here.
Sure.
Can you send me a email with the pricing?
Yep. I'll have them send you a PDF, and then obviously we've got the end of the month rolling around here soon, so I should get my manufacturer's incentives from my technology partner probably later on today. So I'll have something special for you tomorrow if we end up getting something done before the end of the month. What time tomorrow? You want to do 12 o'clock tomorrow, or do you need to check with Frank for this specific time?
I'm gonna go off the phone, call him, and see if I can put some time together, and I'll call Sean back and set up a time. Is that all right?
All right, perfect. Keep the cell phone. Okay, perfect. So Sean will send you a text. We'll send you the summary of the call. I'll send you a little breakdown of the next steps and the implementation of it, along with the pricing, and we'll look forward to setting up a call tomorrow.
All right, good.
All right, thank you so much for the time. Look forward to speaking soon.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks. Bye.